It's a third session of today's 19th August 2020. So it's my great pleasure. I'm going to introduce a great personality, and Dr. Rajeev. Dr. Rajeev, most welcome from the HRD family of PUP University and from all the participants of 84th research course. So if I will start the introduction of Dr. Rajeev, it's a too lengthy. I will give in the brief introduction because it will take 1 hour in the introduction only. So I'm starting in the brief. Dr. Rajeev working as a program head, e-governance development of International Center for Free and Open Source Software. Parallel to that, Dr. Rajeev is a governing body member, International Center for Free and Open Source Software. He is an executive member, International Center for Free and Open Source Software. Parallel to that, he is a co-investigator, pilot project on speech-to-speech machine translation project from PM STAIC, Government of India. Parallel to this, he is a technical committee member, Kerala State Higher Education Council, Department of Insurance Medical Service, Department of Dairy Development, and Spark PMU Finance Department, Government of Kerala. He is expert committee member, digitization of manuscripts in the Department of ORI and MSS Libraries, University of Kerala, and member of Board of Studies, Computer Science, Marie College Autonomous Body, member IEEE Standards Association, NLP Pre-Standards Working Group. Parallel to this, Sir has the Secretary, Trivandrum ACM Professional Chapter. Now from academic side of view, Doctor has done PhD under Faculty of Applied Sciences and Technology, Computational Linguistics from the University of Kerala. Sir has done MPhil under the Faculty of Applied Sciences and Technology, again on Computational Linguistics from the University of Kerala in 2006. Sir has done MSc Computer Science from University of Calicut, Kerala in 2003. Sir has done BSc in Computer Science from University of Kerala in 1999. Few cite on awards and achievements. Sir has got the award from President of India, selected for conferment of award for the cause of classical Malayalam in year 2019. Sir also received e-Word 2012 award for developing localized RTI knowledge portal. Sir has also received Eureka Scholarship from European Commission for International Research. Sir has vast experience in research as well as in teaching. Sir has started his experience in research as a programmer in 1909. So currently working as various positions in various locations in various fields in Kerala. Sir also has experience in teaching. Sir has started teaching experience in 2002. And Sir has published various books as well as international, national research papers. And there are so many, because time is little, so I am not going to explain each and every paper and book. Now, under the Sir, there are 13 projects completed under the guidance of Dr. Rajeev and 6 projects currently going on. So this is a brief introduction about Dr. Rajeev because introduction is very lengthy, so it will take 1 hour. So sorry, sir, for introduction. So sir will give the introduction about today's topic. The topic is the state of art of FOSS. Now I'm going to hand over mic to Dr. Rajeev to continue to share their valuable knowledge with our on the 84th refresher course participants. So sir, welcome from the family of HRDC, Punjab University, Patiala. Thank you very much for joining us. Sir, you can start now.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Sikander ji. First of all, good afternoon, all the participants. And also, I hereby express my sincere gratitude to the authorities of Punjabi University, Patiala, and Director HRDC, and the coordinator of this program, Dr. Vishal Goyal, for inviting me as a resource person for this refresher course. I think actually it's not the fully a lecture. I would like to interact with you. I hope most of the participants are from the computer science background. Either it's the computer science and engineering, or the computer science, or the computer application. Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Participants from various fields. They are few from computer science, from civil engineering, from mechanical and social sciences also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sir,
Okay.
black screen is coming on your side. So, please, can you resolve it?
Which one?
One black screen is coming on the slide. So, which is shown by your.
Yeah, I will do it.
Yeah,
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it is fine now.
Yeah.
So, you can start.
So, all the computer science or the technical persons heard about the term FOSS. Actually, FOSS, it's a term, means it's free and open source software. What is free? What is open source? Here, the free in the sense, that means the freedom. The freedom. Freedom for what? Actually, 4 days before, we celebrated the Independence Day. That means it's a memory of freedom, or free India. Free India in the sense, the freedom from the British Empire. So, the freedom in the sense, the freedom means, what is the freedom in the case of software? That means, the software that respects the users, the end users, freedom and community, and roughly it means that is the users have the freedom to run, copy, distribute, study, change, and improve the software. Thus, the free software is a matter of liberty, that is not a price. In this slide itself, a lot of terms. Normally, the software persons is not having. The software presence is not having the term freedom, because most of the persons is using the Windows or Macintosh as the operating system. That means normally there is no freedom to you. Is it right? Now you are using the Windows operating system or Mac operating system. Did you get the freedom? Please, participants, please respond.
Sir, it will create a problem if we will start the communication from two sides. So it will be better one-way communication. If you want, then we can start.
Pardon, sir, I didn't get you.
So I'm saying, sir, it's a one-way communication, because if participants will involve in the discussion, so a lot of disturbance will be there.
Oh, okay, that's the issue. Okay, otherwise you send it through chat messages. That's why I have no issue.
Yes, if there is any query, participant will send the message in the chat box.
Yeah. That means I will ask some questions to the participants. That means it's an interactive section because all of the persons are from the teachers now. Because now I want to interact with you either in chat or some other things. Then only I can share my knowledge to you. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my question is, normally the most of the participants are using the Windows or Mac as your operating system. Now you are getting the freedom. That's my question. No, yes. Actually, there is no freedom. Yeah. Dr. Vishal Verma and yeah. Yes, Dr. Mahesh and everybody is, yes. Okay. Why don't get you the freedom? Because this is the software. That means in the case of Windows, it's a 100% proprietary one. Then in the case of Mac, the Mac is also hardware and software, both the things are proprietary one. That is why you didn't get or you don't get the freedom. The freedom means okay, sorry for the inconvenience from my side because, sorry. Yes, the most of the participants replied like, yeah, actually you didn't get the freedom, or in future also you don't get the freedom in the case of your Windows and or Macintosh kind of the things. The reason, what is the reason? Because all these are the proprietary softwares. The proprietary in the sense it's a 100% proprietary software in the case of Windows, and the 100% proprietary in the case of Macintosh. Either then not only the software but also the hardware. So, but that is why we are using. We are using the free software. That means there is the free software means there are the free means it's a 100% freedom. Freedom in the sense, if you want, then you can download the software or download the code and run it. If you want, then you can copy, then you can make changes on it, then you can distribute it, then you can conduct a study on that particular software, the open source software, and change or improve the software and distribute it, and you customize it, you can use it. That means you have the full freedom. It's a matter of liberty also. Actually, the free software movement started by Richard Stallman, it's an MIT professor in 1983. Actually, he were conducted the movement against the Microsoft. But the worldwide it's accepted. That is why in India, especially in our state, the Kerala is promoting the free software. In our IT policy, the first IT policy one itself also mentioned the usage of free software, and also the government started the many things in the sense the many programs to propagating the free softwares. Then actually you look into this slide. This slide is, there is the two types of softwares are available. One is the open source and another one is the proprietary software. What is the open source? Not free software. The next slide I will explain what is free and what is open source. So the open source software, the first point is it refers to the software that is developed and tested through an open collaboration. Yes. And second, the same thing, its equivalent point related to the proprietary software is it refers to the software that is solely owned by the individual or the corporate or the organization that developed it. Actually, that is the difference between these two softwares. What is the difference? First one is if either me or you are developed a software, so the first part, if I had developed a software and use my own purpose, then after that I share that software. Share in the sense I share its code to the public for their reference, or if they want they can test it, or if they want they can reproduce it and they can make some changes on it, no issue, and they can build it. But in the case of the proprietary software means it's a package. I think you people well know about the proprietary software. That means it's a basket, it's a covered basket. The covered basket in the sense that is a basket with some of the products. You don't know what is the product inside that one, but sometimes you will get money, or sometimes you will get some gold, or sometimes you will get something from that one. But exactly you don't know what exactly happened inside that one. And also it is owned by, that means you have given the money to the its owner, because in the case of the proprietary software it's owned by the individual or the organization. Organization in the sense either it's a corporate company or some other organizations that who have developed that particular software. That means they are the owner. In the first case, in the case of the open source software, the owner is who is running the code, that person is the owner of that software. Then the second point, anyone with the academic knowledge can access, inspect, modify, and redistribute the source code. That is the another advantages of open source software. But in the second case means it's a proprietary software, only the owner or the publisher who holds the legal proprietary rights of the source code can access it. That means the first part is very important for us, because of nowadays most of the persons are facing the issues with the privacy. If now you are using the software like Windows or the Mac, then did you believe, or do you believe then you have get the privacy on your Windows and Mac operating system? Participants, please respond. What's your opinion? No. Yes. But in your Windows and your Mac operating system, in the case of that one, actually you people didn't get your privacy. The reason is because you don't know what exactly happened inside that one. You don't know the code kind of the things. But in the case of free and open source softwares like Ubuntu or some other Linux versions, then that means it's a source code is available. If the academician or if the persons having the knowledge about that code or whatever it is, then you can access, or you can inspect, or you can identify any vulnerabilities in that one. And another one is the project of this one. The project means it's managed by an open source community. Most of the open source software is developed by not a single person. Actually, it's a community development program. It's a community development means the community. Community means the persons with either it's the academician or the programmer or industrialists, whatever it is, they formed a community to develop a particular software. That's why they know. That means they share the jobs and they write the code and share the code and integrate it and publish it. That is the way the project managed by the open source community. But in the case of the proprietary software, the project is managed by a closed group of individuals. That means that are the employees of that company or the team that developed it. And also, they are not aimed at unskilled users outside of the programming community. Yes, any persons can use that one. There is no need of the money to purchase or the skill or whatever it is, because previously the software, in the case of the proprietary software, they were focused into a limited market of both the skilled and unskilled end users. That means if you have a particular proprietary software, only you can use it kind of things. And also it provides a better flexibility, which means more freedom, which encourages the innovation. Yes, that is the another advantage of this one. Another advantage in the sense, provides a better flexibility, which means the more freedom. That means if you want, you can use it and you can customize it and you can use it only for your purpose. Then otherwise, if you want to do some innovations with it and incorporate that innovation or that code with it and distribute it, that is no problem. But in the case of the proprietary software, it's a very limited scope of innovation with the restrictions provided by the vendor or by the means the owner of the company. Then another one, okay, that is the major difference between the open source software and proprietary software. In not the open source, it's a free and open source software. Again, we can divide into two. One is the free software and another one is the open source software. What is it? Did you believe both are the same? Dear participants, do you believe what I was saying? No. Yes. That means if you want, you can download a software and you can use it then without any payment or anything that that we can call as a free software. That means its distribution is free. But another one is the free and open source software. Its source code is free. You can download it and run it and use it. Its source code also with you. Then another one is the free software. The major difference between these two software is the open source is the development methodology. That means it's open up for all. Its source code is open access by anybody in this world. If you have the knowledge to write the program end of the thing, then you can use it. But in the case of the free software, actually it's a social movement. Free software means the software for all. Then the source code is available or not, that is not a matter of the free software. And open source tends to focus on providing an economic and business argument for the free software. Yes. If the open source is available, then only we can make what actually the free software. But the free software focuses on providing a moral and ethical argument of the open source. It's a philosophical kind of thing. The philosophical point of view. You can use a software as a free. And also using or providing open source software is beneficial to you and your business. And also in the case of the free software, using and providing the free software is a good morally right and thing to do. That is the major difference between the free software and open source software. Okay, I hope the participants got the difference between free and open source software and proprietary software. And again, we can divide the FOSS into two. One is the open source and the free software. Is it okay for you? Okay, thank you, Sikander. Then, next a few slides are a little bit boring to you, because not exactly the boring, but it's some of the legal facts behind the FOSS. The legal facts in the sense the license of the FOSS, free and open source license. That means the open source, actually I already mentioned, it's a community driven program. The community driven program in the sense that means it allows the software to be freely used and modified and shared. There are three terms. One is freely used, but means anybody can use it. And anybody can modify it. Anybody in the sense is those who have the academic or the programming knowledge or the domain knowledge of a particular software. That person can modify it and distribute it. That means it share it. That is the philosophy behind the FOSS. And to be approved by the open source initiatives, also known as it's a OSI. And also that if you want, you can publish your source code or your software freely. That's no issue. But a license must go through the open source initiative license review process. There is a review process is there. That means there is some standardization is there. Only based on that standardization we can adopt or we can accept this as an open source. That means without the standardization that is not working properly. That means that who standardize it means that if you are a developer or a programmer, you can develop a particular software and you can write some code for a particular software, or write a module for a particular software, and you can submit to the community. The community is having the persons with the enough knowledge to examine or inspect your source code, and mostly they will suggest some comments or suggest some modification of your software, and sent to you. Again, you modified it and submitted it, then only you will get the open source license. Then if that a particular software is having the open source license with the review process only. The free software is licensing into mainly two types. One is the copylefted software and non-copylefted software. I think most of the participants heard about only the copyright. Is it right? Did you hear about the copyleft? No. Okay, Sikander is now type it's that copyleft. Okay. Rajeev is already okay. Dr. Girija is okay. Okay. There are the two licenses available in the case of the FOSS. One is the copylefted and another one is the non-copylefted. Yeah. Yes, most of the persons is here about only the copyright, right? Because we have all the things. That means now using everything is the copyright with one. But in the case of the free and open source software, basically the license are the copylefted license, and some cases only the non-copylefted license. What is the copylefted software or the copyrighted software? That means what is there is to stop someone from converting a free software into non-free software. That means the copyleft is used to prevent this. It's a free software to a non-free software. That means one thing is available with the source code with the YSI license. Is it possible to convert that thing into a proprietary one? No. Actually, the copyleft is used to prevent this. That is the advantages of the copyleft software. The specialty of the copylefted software is anyone who distributes the software with or without the changes must pass along the freedom to further copy and change it. And also, it guarantees that every user has a freedom. Every user has a freedom in the sense, every user, if they want, then they can download it and they can use it without any restrictions. They can share it, and also they can make changes on it. That is the advantages of a copylefted software. But it prevents only one thing. One person downloaded that particular software and made some changes, then again it converted into a copyright one, but that thing is not possible in the case of the copylefted software. It guarantees that every user has the freedom, but the freedom in the sense, the freedom is there is no freedom to converting that thing into a non-free software. That is the thing of that is the philosophy behind the copylefted software. Actually, it's a philosophical movement. The philosophical movement means the software for all. That actually it's an intellectual property, but okay, it's an intellectual property of mine. If I have no issue to share the intellectual property with others, that means that is my privilege. But after that, once I shared it, then after that one person downloaded it and converted that thing into a non-free software, but the copylefted license or the copylefted software license prevents it. Definitely prevents it. We can go to the court and file the case against him. That is the privilege we have. There is one of the software license like GNU, General Public License, GNU, General Public License, that is the free, it's a license for the free software and copy left license. Most of the Linux versions in the case, you know, the Ubuntu or any flavor of the Debian or Red Hat or any flavor of the Linux versions is working under or distributed under the GNU GPL license. And also it's a non-copylefted software. Non-copylefted software means that there is some business interest. It's much more permissive license than GPL, and also the permission to redistribute and modify, and also the permission to add the additional restrictions to its further distribution and modification. And also this means that it is possible for someone to take such software and make it proprietary with or without the modifications. That means it's used for business purpose. I don't know, do you believe now the most of the industry is using the 65 to 75% working based on the FOSS software. Did you believe it? You just look into the most of the companies, most of the web-based applications are currently working based on PHP or the open source platforms like you know, CMS, the content management systems, or the web management systems are everything is the PHP and PostgreSQL. Actually, both are the softwares under open source license. And also at the same time, the programming language, nowadays the most of the programming language is most of the persons are using. That means most of the purpose we can use the programming language is the Python is one of the best programming language for artificial intelligence and machine learning purpose. Yes. Then one question from: is there any law or punishment for breaking copylefted software? Dr. Kiran, I think Dr. Kiran just sent a message to me like this one: is there any law or punishment for breaking the copylefted software? In India, as per the IT policy, it's a punishable offense. If one person file a suit against that person, that means the creator of that particular person files a suit against the breaking person, then definitely, as per the IT policy, definitely he or she will get some punishment. Then the free software, it's okay now visible. The examples of the software license are the BSD license and Apache license are the non-copylefted license. Then here some of the things, what are the different license, OSI approved license are popularly widely used. Then first one is Apache license 2.0, BSD 3 clause and new and revised license, BSD 2 clause and simplified or free BSD license, and Eclipse public license, These are the then some other license like GNU General Public License and GNU Library or Lesser General Public License, MIT license, then Mozilla Public License, and Common Development and Distribution License. That means there are a lot of licenses under. That means each in my presentation I also just give the links about that license also. Then in that license itself, it's a very good documentation related to this one. Then one of the famous license in OSI is the GNU General Public License. There are two versions. Now it's
sir, black screen is again coming.
Okay, just a minute. Now it's okay, I think. Yeah. This is the open source initiative. It's a GPL license. It's a general public license. There are two versions of GPL license. That means if you have a licensed software, you have written under GPL version 2, and you are the original licensor of that software, and you may wish to release your software under GPL version 3. That means it's under the grant version 2 and section 9 of the option to follow the terms and conditions. That means most of the licensing software, licensing or non-licensing or FOSS software, there is a terms and condition is there. We never read the terms and conditions. We just I accept that one and install it. That is the thing. But in that terms and condition covers all the clause related to the GPL kind of the things. And the letter version of the GPL in this case, even if you are not the original licensor of the GPL version 2 software, you cannot follow the terms and conditions of GPL version 3 instead. This is not commonly done, but the most of the persons are generally it's a GPL license. Then here is the thing, the license and standards about the open source. That means there are the popular license. Then then this link is you can use for to refer your doubts regarding to this one, the opensource.org and license. Opensource.org is the official site for that one. Not visible now? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible. It is very fine.
Okay, okay. Then what is copyleft? That means copyleft already we were discussed but and detailed. That means what are the terms and conditions is here. But now I am not going to. I just mentioned what are the different. I already shown what are the highlights about this, the copyleft kind of the things. Again, if you want, then you can refer this site and you can write more about, and then you will get the more and more information about the copyleft site license and others. Okay. Then another thing I am moving to alternatives. Why we are using the open source alternative? The open source alternative in the sense, the open source programs give you a complete freedom without any shady terms and conditions. That means a complete freedom in all the things. If you want, you can copy it, or if you want, you can modify it and share it, distribute it, no issue. That means that is the speciality. And also, the open source software code is readily available for anyone who wants it, and so anyone can use it and share it, modify it for their own needs and study it. No issue. Because of this point, how many of you think about the Windows kernel? Anybody saw the Windows basic program? No. But in the case of Ubuntu or any Linux flavor, it's very easy to write the kernel program. That is why no issue. That means kernel is the basic thing, and also the open source tools offer the features or performance benefits that surpass the commercial counterparts, and also it's finally cost effective, but here is no hidden charges and it's completely free. Why this one is no hidden charges? That is another question in front of us. Now, I believe the 100% of these participants having your own laptop. Is it right? Yes, most of the persons is having your own laptops and phone also. Yes. First of all, in the case of the laptops, not in the case of the phones. How many of you are using non-Windows laptop? Sorry, non-Windows and non-iOS laptops? Anybody? Okay, Sikander. Yes, the Sikander is message. It's not possible. Why? Dr. Girija, why? It's not possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's 100% possible. Okay. At the time of the purchase of your new laptop, the hardware cost is around 20,000, but you paid around 35 to 40,000. Why? Because okay, it's not convenient. Why it's not convenient? It's more it's more convenient than Windows. As a computer science or a programming knowledgeable person, it's more and more convenient. Okay. The cost of hardware is only the 20,000. The remaining 18,000 rupees actually you paid for the licensing fee of the original software which are using inside your laptop. The cost of Windows is around 8,000, and the cost of MS Office for 1 year is around 12,000 in between 9 to 11,000. That's why the cost is fluctuating. It's 35 to 38,000 you pay as the cost of the software for not only the hardware cost, it's also included the laptop cost. That means which also included the cost is software also. But in the case of the open source kind of the things, its cost is, there is no hidden charges, nothing. Then its cost is only the hardware cost. It's the remaining software part is 100% free. That is why we are using. Then Harjinder Singh, what is your reservations? Yes, Harjinder.
Harjinder ji, you can unmute yourself. You can discuss if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No issue.
You can continue.
Okay. The alternatives are available. The alternatives available in the sense, then some civil engineering faculty members is here. That is why I put the first one. The AutoCAD is one of the best designing software in this world. Is it right? Yes. Did you hear about the alternative of that one? No. Yes. One person is yes. Okay. Its alternative is FreeCAD. The FreeCAD software is available. Then if you want, then you can download it and use it. Another one software is Adobe Photoshop. Everybody heard about the Adobe Photoshop. Its alternative is GIMP. The Adobe Photoshop requires the license. Without the license, what exactly happened is without the using the Adobe, normally the Photoshop is using for the business purpose. Business purpose means in the designing aspects. So, without the license, you are using the Adobe Photoshop. What exactly happened means the company sues the case against you. Then previously somebody is asking, okay, that the question is once the copy left software. Break the copy left at one and prosecute it. Yes, it's possible. Because of this case, the Adobe charge suits a lot of cases against the many persons in India. Its alternative is GIMP. Adobe InDesign. It's for the another designing software. It's this thing is Scribus. Then the Microsoft Office. Its alternative is LibreOffice. So. Here is a link. Yes.
Hello, can I interrupt, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, we are using free license software. Sometimes what happens, the output is not compatible with the licensed version of that available. You can say like Office format is not as much as compatible with the LibreOffice.
Yes, Manoj.
So
Dr. Manoj Kumar. Then your voice is a little bit issue for with me. Then okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Now it is clear, sir.
Now it's audible. Yeah, now it's audible. Okay.
Sometimes we face the compatible issue while we are using one software in open source and one's output in you can say license-based software. So there is issue. Sometimes when we have to combine the file, like you can say a Microsoft Office formatting is little bit different than the LibreOffice. So why you can see like that kind of problem?
That means you are talking about
the compatible issue, sir.
Okay, do these free softwares have the same performance as proprietary? Is the questions from Kiranjit. Also the same questions you are asking the in the case of the Microsoft Office and LibreOffice kind of the things. Then the compatibility. Okay, the compatibility issue. Your questions and these person's questions are both are the same. Then now you can see on window here is right.
Okay.
This is a LibreOffice Impress. It is having more features than Microsoft PowerPoint. In Microsoft PowerPoint, there is no facility to converting directly from this one to PDF. But this LibreOffice is having that facility. Then your question related to the formatting issue.
Yes.
Up to this moment, I didn't face any formatting issue because in my mail is having a lot of PPT, PowerPoint, .ppt extension files or PPTX extension files. Download it and I can alter it, because why this one is happened, only the reason is now here is a facility that if you want you can save the file here from the savers. Then here is a facility to like all formats. These all formats contains, then if you want you can save it's any Microsoft version. That is why there is no issue with the format. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you zoom it? Oh, Sikander, that is the issue. The zooming is not possible.
Okay. No issue, sir. If it is not possible.
Because it's a live window, not an image. Actually, there is a live window of this one.
Okay. No issue.
Yeah. Then for further reading, you can visit the ICFOSS.in/doc, the Maroon pages. Then you will get a lot of FOSS alternatives. Then here is there are two options for MS Office. One is the Open Office. Then Open Office includes the writer, word processing, calc, spreadsheet, Impress presentation, Draw is for the graphics, Math is for the mathematical equation, and Base is the database. And it can open, edit, export the Microsoft file formats, and its feature is a very intuitive interface. And also another option for this one is the LibreOffice offers the same type of the software as its predecessor with the same additional features and extensions. The LibreOffice Calc, LibreOffice Impress, and LibreOffice Writers are examples of these software. Then another feature, the PDF Creator. Then again my question to you, then the Microsoft Office provides the facility to you to convert directly from your file to, or the export directly to the to PDF. Is it possible in Microsoft Windows? Only through print. Only through print means there you are installing the thing like there is a printer software. That means Adobe Printer is another third-party software you are using. That means you print your file to another file. That means there is a facility by using a third-party software. But in this case, there is no third-party software. That means there is a button. That means directly you can export to the PDF. That is why no issue. And also, here is a facility to sign the document with your signature like digital signatures, then you can see it. Then another 3D animation, most of the persons know the 3D animation software is having a huge amount of the licensing cost, and every year you want to pay the licensing fee kind of the thing. But in the case of the 3D software, the Blender is a very good alternative for the 3D Maya or the 3D studio like of software. It's a completely free and has been used to create the full-length animated films without any restrictions. And also another software, that means the GIMP. Actually, this is the software is the alternative of the Adobe Photoshop. Then you can use this GIMP. GIMP makes it easy and edit photos and other images just like you would with that Photoshop. And also it includes the features like layers, gradients, and photo enhancements, the color manipulations, and digital retouching, and much more. Then whatever you want to do with the Adobe Photoshop, then you can do it with the GIMP. Then this is an Octave. This is another open source educational tool used for the numerical computation with an interactive environment and tool. This tool is having the features with the powerful mathematics and oriented syntax with the built-in plotting and visualization tools, and also Octave syntax is largely compatible with MATLAB. MATLAB is one of the software we are using for to visualizing or the modeling the data. Then Udacity, this is free and open source digital audio editor with the recording. It's a computer software application, and also its key features lie in both the recording audio from the multiple sources and post-processing with all the types of audio, including podcast by audio effects such as the normalization and trimming and fading in and out. Amrock is an open source software for the music playback system and easy to use the audio player. And BRCAD is a powerful open source cross-platform solid modeling system that includes the interactive geometry editing. Then Inkscape. Inkscape is a vector drawing program, offers the professional quality features like markers, fonts, alpha blending, etc. for the graphic designers. Dia is creating diagrams like flowchart, organization charts, and more. It does not have as many options for artwork and style of boxes or Visio, and it's good enough for the most of the casual users, but not for the professional users. Any doubts up to this one? Yes. The question is why these free softwares are not popular. That's the question. That's a very important and valuable question from Dr. Girja. The reason is there is no business interest behind that one. Business interest means there is no way to identify this one, and also nobody is on it. But in our state, that okay, in our presentation I will show some of the examples. Then now I just move to some of the learning management systems. See, a learning management system is LMS is a software application for administration and documentation and tracking, reporting, automation and delivery of the educational courses and training programs or the learning and development programs. What are the best features of LMS is integrated with the virtual classroom. Yes, now we are taking the class virtually, and technical support, and customizable and multilingual. Then course management, that means the semi-automatic course administration and order management and pre-registration and assigning courses can be performed. Then reports, automated report generation or the customized report generation kind of the things, and communication management, the Scrum capability, data storage, assessment creation and management. These are the features of a learning management system. But what are the consequences of not having the LMS platform? Forgetfulness, inefficiency, the lack of monitoring the learner's performance, not setting the clear goals, increases the burden for the teacher, and deteriorate the learning outcomes, insufficient detailed statistics, and no learning paths. Then, for the LMS, learning management system, there are a lot of proprietary software as well as open source softwares are available. Here I am going to present some of the category of open source LMS and proprietary LMS. First one, the price. In the case of open source LMS, almost all products in the marketplace are free minimum, and it requires the licensing fee per user enrollment and renewal of the license on annual basis. The developments, the plugins are freely available in the market for the customization and branding of LMS. Then again, in the case of the proprietary LMS, the additional payment would be asked by the vendors to initiate the development as per your requirements. The hardware, in the case of open source LMS, the specialized server maintenance personnel assigned for the routine checkup and hosted on one server or vendor server. The technical support means the admin support is available to eradicate any discrepancy. The second is, but in the case of the proprietary software, the technical support is optional, availing a technical support with the level up to cost. And also the scalability, the LMS hosted for the 50 users can scale up into 5,000 users or more without losing the quality. But in the case of proprietary software, the more user enrollments increases the cost of new user registrations and maintenance. And also the security part, the data security and disaster recovery are possible in open source LMS because these systems are trusted and developed by the millions of users around the globe. But in the case of the proprietary software, usually the vendors guarantee the security and stability of LMS. Possibly the occurrence of in-house data leakage will cause organization. And the integrations available with the LMS in open source can be opted out, and since the vendors do not disclose the codes, and so there comes a dependency, and integrations are available but may incur the extra cost. Some of the open source LMS tools: OTF, Brocos, Forward LMS, Moodle, Sakhi. These are the different open source LMS tools. Here, in our organization, we are using Moodle for our learning management system. Then LMS is on one. Now, if you want to set up the virtual classroom kind of the things, that time we require some of the web conferencing also. We want to integrate the web conferencing or video conferencing system with it. Then only we can set up the virtual classrooms. The web conferencing software is used to organize the video and audio meetings using the internet. Features of this solution includes the screen sharing, chat, remote control, presence information, file sharing, and recording, and also the sophisticated solutions for offering the integration with the marketing automation and CRM platforms and advances security, functionality, and capability for the audience interaction. So some of the open source web conferencing solutions: Big Blue Button, Open Meetings, Jitsi, East-Stack Cloud Meeting, mconf, Jammy, Linphone, right? And also our Open Conference Call is another solution. Yes, this is a comparison of different open source web conferencing solutions. The video conferencing support all the things. In the BBB, for premium tier versions only having this one, then all others is having the facility, and Linphone or Right is not having this one. The number of webcam shades is, in the case of Big Blue Button, it's 15 to 25. Open Meetings, it's not applicable at any number. EasyDocs 100, Jitsi is 2 to 200. mconf is unlimited. Jammy is unlimited. Then Linphone is the multiple device supports this one. Then screen sharing is provided by all the software. GDPR complaint means only 3-1. This is the different web conferencing solutions, the comparison of the different web conferencing solutions. Here, this is our ICFOSS virtual lab. It's our e-learning platform. It's a LMS. Currently, we are conducting different training programs through this one. Then, if the time permits, I will give a small demo. If you want, then I will give a small demo about this one. Then, Girija Madam asking some of the questions like why nobody is using the FOSS software, because of the FOSS is not a particular owner. Who should the initiative means the government should initiate it, but in the Kerala government, the first IT policy itself, the government of Kerala promoting the FOSS software. Then that is why actually the one and only one organization in India like us, our name is the International Center for Free and Open Source Software. Just why the government started this organization means the government started this organization for promoting the free and open source software with national and international collaborations. Now, I will just show a quick video about our organization, what exactly we are doing. Just 1 minute, wait for a minute. Now you can see the YouTube page.
To develop a free program
is audible for you?
Society. How much, that depends on the details. If the program is very useful, it contributes a lot. If it's hardly useful at all,
you can see the video also.
But if it's free software, that means it's distributed in such a way that it contributes whatever it has to offer.
ICFOSS, the outcome of a decade of work by free software enthusiasts, advocates, developers, and supporters in the state of Kerala and outside. On the 8th year of operation, the center houses a prototyping and fabrication lab supporting open hardware, e-governance lab, development team of 50+ employees, a blender center of excellence, state nodal agency for Malayalam computing, state-of-the-art production and development service, language technology lab, UAD workstation, a dedicated team on assistive technology at the AT lab and training areas. The research projects of ICFOSS include collaboration and support from central and state agencies like Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Spices Board, Kerala State Electricity Board, and so on. With e-governance getting a wide recognition and Internet of Things driving the era of intelligent digital mesh at one end, and the rise in localization of content and demand for use of technology for bridging social strata at the other end. ICFOSS has placed itself as a center exploring both and connecting those. The software and hardware needs arising out of the billions of devices things expected to get connected will have to be addressed by the open source community. Open IoT is aimed at developer communities working in this direction. Open IoT launched a public LoRaWAN network for IoT devices on 25th April 2018. Using this, team deployed a fully functional weather station in Technopark for identifying and analyzing weather patterns. Drones and allied technologies are no more than a future. The exponential curve in the uprise of the tech is now backed with a huge open source community. At the UAV workstation, hexcopters, quadcopters, flying wing, and fixed wings are designed, built, and assembled. The GIS data hence produced are processed using open drone map and photogrammetry technique to create 3D models and data sets with a wide range of applications. Technologies providing the social divide, bridging the inequalities and knowledge contributing back to society is explored at the AT Lab. The Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala launched an ergonomic mouse called T-Slide on May 16, 2018. Developed by this lab. Currently, there is no affordable locally sourced dish mouse available in the Indian market. AT Lab, in association with the University of Applied Sciences Technical in Austria, designed a solution for the same, named Flip Mouse. Free softwares like Blender and Krita controls substantial share in new media art industry. The Blender Center of Excellence is engaged in research projects and training activities, encouraging local content creation and development. The COE also works in cutout animation, projection mapping, and blend formats of online content. Educational content and games with locally relevant data is being created using Edge 5D and other technologies. The Media Lab also contributes to the larger repository. ICFOSS is also focusing in the field of e-governance and language technology. The Language Technology Lab at ICFOSS has developed a Malayalam spell checker in association with AUKDC Research Center of Anna University. Lekha OCR, an open OCR with Malayalam engine, an online POS editor, and an online platform for Unicode ASCII font converter are another important outlets. The lab is also engaged in developing Malayalam chatbot, social media data analysis of Malayalam and deep learning technology. ICFOSS was recognized by the state utility for its research and development to assist KSAB in mapping 14 lakh high-tension poles across Kerala using OpenStreetMap and allied technologies. This project was accomplished by creating a software stack integrating various free software utilities and GIS mapping tools were used for visualizing the lines to give a holistic view of KSAB. Recognizing the need for capacity building for gender equality, ICFOSS hosts Women Hackathon, a residential training program for selected girl students for technology institutes. Knowledge transfer and training is integrated through the design of research activities under ICFOSS. Trainings are conducted for government, industry, and students across Kerala. The center offers dedicated training facility, with high-performance machines and skilled resource persons. The collaborative projects on Interdisciplinary Center of the College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and the project with Department of Technical Education on developing text-to-speech synthesis are examples of clear connectivity with academia. ICFOSS imparts force-based entrepreneurship by supporting and facilitating entrepreneurs to commercialize its R&D outcomes. An automated parking solution and water meter that runs on ICFOSS LoRaWAN and the drone-based mapping and assistive technology services built on the designs of respective labs are by demonstrates of the same. With support of Kerala's startup mission, ICFOSS is setting up a FOSS incubator to enable the outputs. In association with Kerala Hardware Mission, ICFOSS has proposed an open hardware lab which will facilitate the development in open hardware and laws. Driven by the leadership of Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, Chairman of Board of Governance of ICFOSS, and with the advisory board capturing the likes of Dr. Rahul Dev, Dr. Kannan Mogalia, Dr. G. Nagarjuna, Shashi Pilasheri Beetal, Professor Sebastian Morris, and so on. ICFOSS looks forward to expanding its programs for the larger benefit of the society and also at the center of excellence in research.
This is one of the initiatives from the government of Kerala for promoting the free and open source software in Kerala in different areas, and also another in academic purpose for the area of education. Under the Ministry of Education, they started the IT at School project. That means the government of Kerala started the initiative at IT at School. They customized for the Ubuntu software for the school children and distributed all over the Kerala. That means this operating system installed the 14,000 schools with a 45.29 lakhs of around 50 lakhs of students and 1.72 lakhs of teachers to start with the academic last academic year. I took these screenshots from their advertisement, means the government of Kerala's official website. That's why the news regarding to this one, there is different newspapers published about this thing. And also, that's why here the Kerala state sells around $400 million by choosing Linux. Then, as per the IT policy 2017 of Government of Kerala, there is no compromise in the case of FOSS in government sector. All the government insisting the new purchases and new installation, everything with the FOSS. And also the IT at School, IT at School project, it's a Ubuntu latest version 18.04. Then with a lot of, it's a customized and preloaded. They distributed a laptop to the schools and students with a lot of software. It's a Ubuntu desktop for the school children. With the preloaded applications. There are a lot of applications. That means different types of softwares like LibreOffice, Gimp, Inkscape, then video editing software, and also a lot of softwares are available. So now I just conclude my session. Then if you have any queries or anything.
Hello participants, if anyone has any query, he or she can ask the question. Bandar. Please don't try for cross talk. So you can start if anyone has any query. So, Dr. Rajeev, I think there is no query from participants.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. This is Manoj from Walcom. My question is, what Kerala government is doing to advertisement or make familiar with such type of open source available in Kerala state, so we can able to do initiative in my state also.
Which state you mean?
You got my question, sir? Initiative means Kerala government. I am talking about Kerala government. What type of initiative for making familiar with such type of open source, like you are set up international open source center over there. So how they are marketing in state, I mean to say.
Marketing in the sense?
How make familiar with all other users or other regions of Kerala?
Yeah, actually we are developing products, different products to the government of Kerala. Means, or we are giving the consultancy and supports to the government departments for to develop to software. Actually, it's a back-end research. Actually, we did it. We did it here and given that things to the TSPs. TSPs means the total solution providers in government of Kerala. Then they will bring this one as a product.
Sir, I think question raised by Manoj is, will you provide this facility to other states also?
Yes, if the other states want the consultancy from our side, definitely we will provide.
I think, Manoj, this was your question, na?
Okay.
You want to ask?
Thank you. Yes,
any other participant? Any other candidate who want to ask questions?
One more thing I would like to add regarding to the consultancy kind of the things, or if your organization wants to associate with us, then definitely we will provide the consultancy or whatever the services you require, we will provide to you also. For the thing is everything under FOSS. That means if you want to migrate your organization into a full-fledged FOSS lab or whatever it is, then we will give the consultancy services to your organization. Then we already signed some MOU with the Punjabi University also for promoting the FOSS.
So your services will be free or will be cost, I think? Dr. Rajeev, my question is that services provided by you will be free of cost, or there will be any charges?
Not fully the free of cost. That means that it's a consultancy services, but not much costly. Not much costly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question from any other participant? So, sir, here I want to add something, because here our organization, Punjabi University, Patiala, is spending lakhs of money for purchasing the licensed software. I don't know.
Which university?
Punjabi University, Patiala.
Okay, okay.
We are spending a lot of money on purchasing the licensed software. I don't know why they are not opting this one. I think Dr. Basal is there. So, anyway.
Yes,
so,
yes, Dr. Sikander, yes.
Sir, why we are spending a lot of money on licensed software? Why we are not opting the open source software?
Sir, this is a very debatable issue. We should ask the university authorities about it. I have always requested the authorities to go for the free software. And I think if you can observe, since the lockdown period, I have managed the whole online teaching from the day one, and I have not spent single penny, and I have not requested the university authorities to give me single penny for managing all the things. So this is the choice of the university.
there are complex things, I can understand.
Yeah, so, I know we should go for Linux. I am always passion of having Linux in our university, but it is a administrative decision.
Okay. Dr. Rajeev, there is a one video.
Hello. One more question. I have one more question.
Yeah.
In Kerala government, all universities are 100% using open sources software in university as well as school.
Yeah, in the case of the Kerala government schools, they are using 100% open source software.
Okay.
In the case of the in school education, but in the case of the college education, some of the particular softwares or some of the applications requires some proprietary kind of things, especially with some of the scientific softwares. Otherwise, all other things, most of the universities nowadays using the open source, because the government of Kerala, the standing government order to the government departments and issuing based on the FOSS. Actually, the ICFOSS is the nodal agency for the migrating from the proprietary software to the open source software. Actually, one of our major job is to the migration.
Yeah, fine, Dr. Rajeev. So, I want to share one more thing. I have seen one video last week. One Punjabi asked a question to the person in Kerala. Why your literacy rate is high? Then he replied that in Kerala, every person in the house has a separate library in every room.
Excuse me, your voice is a little bit noisy. That's why.
Vishalji, am I audible?
Now you are audible.
So I can repeat the story. So I have seen one video last week.
Yeah.
One Punjabi asked a question to a person in Kerala, why your literacy rate is very high? Then he replied that in our state, every person in their house has a separate library. Father, mother, sister. So is it right, sir?
Some extent it's nice, it's true. The other thing is actually a lot of newspapers and a lot of magazines is available, and a lot of local publishers is also available. Okay.
Okay.
That is, that is.
So,
hello.
So thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Whether we are buying a software, proprietary software from industry or from any kind of corporation. So whether we are directly or indirectly, our personal information we are selling free of cost. Is it true or not? Have you got the question, sir?
I didn't get you the exact question from your side.
What I'm trying to say, sir, my statement is, suppose we are buying a software, proprietary software from any agency or corporation.
Which is software?
There is proprietary software, licensed software, and directly we are selling our personal information. We are selling our personal information directly or indirectly. Is it true or not? In contrast to, you can say, open software, I am asking this question.
Actually, I did, my question is, which software you are purchasing from the external vendor?
Actually, what is the trend? Basically,
it's any application software, is right.
Any application software we are purchasing from a particular industry.
Okay.
And what happened at our part, we are selling our personal information directly or indirectly. That is free of cost. But that is not true in case of open source. Are you agreeing with this statement, sir?
The last statement, what was the last statement?
Last statement was we are purchasing.
Because the thing is, your sound is, I couldn't properly hear your sound. Some of the background noises.
Dr. Manoj, can you type and...
Okay, you just type it, then definitely I will answer the question. Yeah.
So, meantime, I have one question, Dr. Rajeev. So, for open system software, to take a license, is it compulsory?
Open source software is not having a license, but actually in my presentation there are two types of licenses. One is the copylefted license and another one is the non-copylefted license. Because they mention then there is the terms and conditions with it. If it is copylefted, that means there is no issue for it. Then non-copylefted means if you want to convert that software into a productive means commercial purpose.
Okay, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Meantime, if any other participant, any question, we are waiting for Dr. Manoj's question. He will type and send.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can mail.
Okay. You can continue with the session. I will.
Okay. No issue. Dr. Bishalji, can I conclude? Dr. Bishalji, can I conclude?
Yes, Dr. Sikander, please conclude. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Rajeev. It was really nice lecture and it was really beneficial for all. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Sikander, please conclude the session.
Dr. Rajeev, you have spared valuable knowledge with us because so many us have no idea about the open source software. We are from computer science background, we know, but non-computer participants, they have no idea. Now they will think about these softwares. Now I will brief the lecture given by Dr. Rajeev ji. Dr. Rajeev ji started with the open system software that started by Richard Stallman. Then sir has explained the difference between open source and proprietary in a very good manner. So sir, you have shared valuable knowledge with us. So thank you very much for sharing your time and sharing your movements with us. We have learned a lot. Thank you very much, sir. Now sir, we will go for a national song. After that, we all can leave. Now it's a request to cultural committee play national song. Thank you.
For all the participants, I have sent you one email on the Google group and my mobile switched off. Otherwise, you have received the information on your Google WhatsApp group as well. One link has been shared. That web link is basically for testing the website on taken. So I request you all to kindly go through that web link, attempt the test for just 5 minutes. It's a test purpose. And today it will happen. The test will start at 5 p.m. today. So you have been provided with the link. You attempt the questions so that you can know about how the test will look like tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Vishal ji. Okay.